Welcome everyone to Don't Fear Finance. I understand this video is going up on the 27th of January, so I'm a bit late to the trend, but this is a video where we'll be talking about the best ways to invest in 2021. What 2020 taught us all is that we could be super smart while investing and lose it all. We could be the kindest people in the world and become heartbroken. We can treat people with the utmost dignity and respect, and we are thrown to the side of the road like trash. It sucks to say. There's nothing to do to change the past, so what I'm thinking of doing is to give you a bit of investing advice for 2021 to make your journey that bit easier, because I don't want anyone in this world to suffer or go through financial ruin, no matter if I know you or not. Here are some things that you can use as preparation for the unknown upcoming year. Before we continue, make sure to like and subscribe. Comment down below saying that you did, because I work really hard on these videos and I'll be responding to all of your comments. Now, into the video. The first piece of advice is to not overcomplicate your investing. So many people get consumed by investing and making money in the stock market and investments in general. There is some level of focus you need before, while, and after you invest in the markets, but in reality, it's not nearly as much as you would think. People who leave their money in the stock market most of the time have the same returns and results as the people who work full-time trying to time the markets, and sometimes they make even more than the people who time the markets. If you're an experienced trader and investor, you should definitely invest in the same types of stocks and industries
as you have been in past years.
Because clearly, if you're still investing and if you're still making enough money,
Then what you've been doing
does work. On the other hand, if you haven't been investing for years, then you have two choices. Either invest in high profit companies with a positive trajectory, which just means that the company has been gaining value and profits for a long period of time. Or you can invest in an index fund. An index fund is an investment where you put your money and you're investing in the entire stock market, not just one stock, company, or industry. This isn't it. The stocks you invest in with an index fund are the best performing stocks in the stock market. This gives you a safe, broad, and easy investment. Downside, they don't have incredible return like some stocks. Upside, the index fund does not have horrifying losses like stocks do. I know I've said this before, but a big thing in making sure that you don't lose much in the markets and begin to stress is to make sure that your portfolio is diverse. So don't invest in just renewable energy or just banks or just real estate. Invest in all three of these things. Invest in blue chip industries such as finance and real estate. These are boring companies in the stock market. They don't fluctuate in price, but they don't have plateaued profits, values, and equity. They are gaining value all the time, but not at an extreme pace and not at the slowest pace possible. If this is too complicated, then again, you can invest in an index fund. It gives you a broad investment horizon as well as a steady profit and value gain. Let's not restrict ourselves to the stock market here. A different investment that you can put your money into is bonds. They have less profits and gains, but they are a good long-term investment. There is also real estate. This is a very powerful investment, short-term and long-term. The long-term investment in real estate is, of course, long-term equity. Your short-term investment is rent or flipping your house, which is also known as quick equity. Or you can invest in real estate virtually through things like REITs, which is a place where you put your money and it's invested into real estate without you having to put any of the work into buying the house, renovating the house, or any of the time-consuming work. This is something that I haven't spoke about a lot on my channel, and I believe that this is something that should really be monitored when you invest. It is allocating your assets properly based on your age. This means that you should buy and possess assets based on your age. For example, having a much more intense and riskier portfolio is much better and profitable when you're in your 20s instead of having it when you're about to retire. The same thing goes for having a non-risky and slow gaining portfolio. It is way better to have longer lasting and slower profit investments when you're on the brink of retirement compared to having them when you're young and you have a lot of time to make up for any losses that you had either in the stock market or in stupid and risky investments. This doesn't mean that you should be done with your investments. It's the complete opposite. We have no clue what's going to happen in 2021, so I wouldn't recommend investing a lot of money from January to April due to the fact that we need more information to invest in the market smartly. So coming out of a year of unknowns, investing most of your cash into the markets isn't a very smart idea. For the majority of the year, I would keep more cash on hand than I would have in other years. The sources I'm using for this video say you should keep a lot of cash on hand, which is smart, but I don't like to keep much money on hand all the time. Inflation takes a lot of that value. I would invest in bonds or real estate at the beginning of the year because bonds are bought a lot during a market crash, which a lot of economists are predicting to happen in the early months of 2021. So to be safe with my money, I would buy bonds. And the reason I want to buy real estate is because everyone needs housing, no matter if we're in a global pandemic or not. It is a very smart idea to be hesitant with the stock market this year and even with the index funds. If the stock market has a bad start to 2021, then both of those will lose profits, returns, and value. I think I should talk about what assets would be best to buy in 2021 because people are probably very unsure whether an industry or an asset is good to buy into or not. The smartest places you could put your money throughout the long run in 2021 are in assets that are known to be safe in hard times in the markets. For example, real estate. Real estate is needed no matter what happens in the stock market. They are two different parts of the investing world. You could of course use real estate investments such as REITs like I mentioned earlier on in this video. Then there are of course actual real estate where you can buy a home, clean it up a bit, then rent it out or sell it for a profit. The next investments that are smart for 2021 are things that are safe no matter what happens, like bonds on the different level of governments and index funds. Then there are riskier ones like dividend stocks and industry-specific index funds as well as stocks. These are more risky because they're more focused on a certain industry or company, whereas an actual index fund, it's way more broad than the specific index funds. There are many different assets that you could invest in to make 2021 a very profitable year. So what industries are the best for investing in this year? The best investments in general are in industries that are going to be the future, not the present. These would be things such as artificial intelligence, biotechnology, and renewable energy. They're not going to be too profitable now at this moment, but in a decade or two or 4 if you have that much time. The best investments in general are in the future. That's why Elon Musk is so rich all of a sudden, because he started a company that is going to help us in the future and for generations to come. Investors see that skyrocketed the value of the actual company. That's why he gained around $100 billion in value this year. This is why Jeff Bezos is so rich, because he understood that everything was going to be online and shopping was going to be way more populated over the internet and through websites and different companies that let you access those sites or access those products that are being sold online. He understood that. That's why he's so rich. The future holds all the power. We need to look at the past and the present to see what mistakes have happened and are happening right now. But we should not base our investments and decisions off of those statistics. We need to look at those mistakes and then do the complete opposite or do something different with our investments and not repeat those mistakes. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I know I didn't talk much about the stock market and tips on investing in the market too much. Today was a video that I needed to make to show you what the future may hold when it comes to your investments and portfolio. Thank you again for watching today's video. Make sure to like and subscribe and comment saying that you did, and I'll see you in the next video.